Everyone. It is Monday, the 23rd of February, 2026, and this is an impromptu video. I did a couple of notes that I've jotted down, and I was going to take a few days before doing videos, um, but because of what's gone on in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, um, other areas as well being hit, and I just had left from the Anarchapulco 2026, literally got back Saturday afternoon to the house, and then obviously within 24 hours of that, things kicking off, less than 24 hours, kicking off in multiple areas. But even people from the Anarchapulco, it's always hard for me to say that. Um, they have been impacted. There are still people, even that we communicated with, that are still on the ground. They were leaving the Sunday or within a few days after the Anarchapulco, and so just sending information as much as I can, and it's just anyway, very interesting um, past few days, and I'm just going to share some information so that I'm not just rambling on about things here. Straight to it. And so here are people have probably already saw multiple clips, multiple stories coming out of Mexico right now, and Dan Dix, who I had the pleasure of meeting and talking to when I was there. I gave him my business card, and I told him I absolutely adore him. I met his wife as well. Amazing, incredible, salt of the earth people, and he's done so much, sharing a lot of information regarding Canada and the world, international news now for literally years. I'm talking like over 16 years, I think, at this point, calling out the Bilderberg, the WEF cruise, Bohemian Grove, you name it, the G20 summits in 2010, calling out Bill Blair and others through COVID and beyond. And it was really nice to see that Canada finally, again, like he's getting the recognition internationally that he deserves, because a lot of mainstream media in Canada, state-funded media, they bury his work, or that he's censored, or he's not even asked to conduct interviews, which is unfortunate because we have people like Rachel Gilmore that are seen as experts, and they are clowns. Nowhere near a touch on Dan Dix when it comes to actually reporting. And anyway, I'm already on a tangent, but here we go. So Edmontonians stranded in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, amid cartel takeover. And so again, I hope that the people that I was communicating with throughout the conference, I hope they're okay. There were multiple people that we had met from Edmonton, from Calgary, mostly from the West Coast, that were at this Anarchapulco. And anyway, trying to send information out to them as well to assist, including consular services for Canadians. And there is a consulate in Puerto Vallarta. There is an embassy in Mexico City. I've shared that as well. And obviously the American embassy, they would prioritize their own people. But these are like, I literally was the course coordinator for Global Affairs Canada, and people from ahead of DART, etc., were part of the courses that I was teaching, that I was running. Um, and to respond to natural and man-made disasters internationally. And Michelle Ferreri, she was an MP for the Conservative Party. I don't know if she is still anymore. I don't think she got voted back in, which is unfortunate. But she was giving an example of when she had traveled, and there was an emergency situation that happened, and she and others had tried to contact the consulate within the area that they were staying in, and it was not manned 24/7 during an emergency. And I was just talking to my partner about this, but I had been doing that for years up until COVID, where the contracts first, they were stalled, delayed, and then because I wasn't vaccinated, etc., and the information I was sharing regarding COVID did not fit the narrative, I was pushed out of that contract work. Unfortunately, obviously, I could have got vaccinated and complied and stuff like that, but I wasn't going to do that at the time. And where was I going with this? But yeah, so these courses I was teaching, these were very robust courses, and necessarily so. And it was a 5-day course package, 3 days theoretical, 2 days practical, where they would actually be trained where to respond to situations or scenarios that involved a prison, that involved a hospital, that involved an airport, that involved multiple locations within military bases, establishing contacts with the locals, etc., and operating in the gray. But also, as I said, it's very important that during emergency situations, that people have access to consulate services 24/7. This is a non-negotiable. And so, like in the middle of the night, I took that scenario on myself so that I can properly assess it and communicate with people if there were issues. And late at night, when people were supposed to be manning this, I call it the CP, but manning the consular posts, they would be sleeping, or they wouldn't want to like be in the office, like sleeping there to do their shift changes, etc. And that would frustrate me, and I did call it out. And you know, for the most part, it was disappointing. There were people that were manning and taking it seriously, but for the most part, they did not take it seriously when it came to the manning the 24/7. They didn't think it was part of their job. They thought it was because it was training, not part of their the requirement. But I'm sorry, with my course, if I'm going to sign that course certificate, you're going to do the training that is set out, the necessary training, or I will fail you, and I don't care. And I've done the same thing for use of force instruction as well. If you are not good, and respectfully speaking, good enough to do the job, you are not only a risk to yourself, but you are a risk to others. And I'm going on all these tangents, but it's just frustrating that it's still happening where they're not manning CPs, consular services, I mean, 24/7 during natural or man-made disasters when people absolutely need that. And again, all these tangents. So having your passport and key information separate from your luggage and things like that. So unfortunately, there were people that were taking an Uber, and people that were part of Anarchapulco, and their driver was murdered right in front of them. All of their luggage was burned. Likely with the Molotov cocktails that they do, and it's very unfortunate. Lost their passports, and this is an absolute issue that does happen during natural or man-made disasters, where key, vital, important documents are damaged or destroyed. And this is why, like having them like safely either on your person, separate from the remainder of your luggage or carry on, even your purse in situations, just so that if it is taken, you at least have that your necessary paperwork. Because Global Affairs Canada, it makes things a lot more complicated. And then also having some kind of a contact list that's written down. And so I have at least 3 pages of contacts in here with phone numbers and addresses, that if I ever didn't have access to my contact list from my phone, whether it be because the battery ran out or whatever reason, jammed communications, that at least I have like physical copies of contact information that I can communicate to people, let them know how to reach me, my last known location, etc. So that, again, if I don't have comms internally or externally to the environment that I'm in, that at least there are people that were tracking my last known location, if that makes any sense. And I'm just trying to give advice here. And Dan Dix, he had stayed for a couple of days after the conference because he was speaking, and he was quite busy every day. I saw people were like always going up to him and his wife and conversating with him, and which was good to see. And so he also got to do an interview with Stu Peters, which I was so happy that he was able to do that. And then even today, I don't know when he was on Alex Jones, but Alex Jones had him on, and a lot of people that are sharing international news regarding Peurto Vallarta, they're literally getting it from Dan Dix's videos. And so you even see the watercolor mark or whatever you call it on people's videos that they're sharing that say like "Press for Truth" at the bottom. And so I hope that he and his wife are safe, that everyone is safe, that they're hunkered down, that they have cash on them. I'm talking like Mexican cash or American cash, preferably Mexican, and then broken down into like different areas, right? So don't keep everything in your wallet. Okay, like have money in other areas that again, if they're going to take money or you're going to barter, then when you're opening up your wallet, like they're just going to take all the money out, right? Like you need to make sure that you break it up, split it up. And then if you have high value jewelry like gold or silver, this can also be used for bartering to assist you in anything, right? And so I've given videos. Actually, maybe I'll share it. But one of the speakers for Anarchapulco, he ended up going into an ambulance covertly, like obviously, and multiple other people in order to get back to his Airbnb to get all of his stuff. But they all had to give money to the ambulance driver in order to be transported there, because like the ambulance driver is also risking his life in order to get people into the danger area, just so these civilians can get access to their Airbnb and luggage and stuff like that. And so this is real world stuff. And I want to respectfully say that this is where, and again, I'm saying this respectfully, that your cryptocurrency, it does not work. And because and so that was talked about a lot. It was very interesting, and I absolutely, there's pros and cons to cryptocurrency, but you'll see in a real life or death situation, in a natural or a man-made disaster, or event, that doesn't help you, especially when the government's already talking about, again, shutting off the power and in the major areas. And so also with that, this is something that I brought with me as well. This is a solar powered battery charger or phone charger with multiple different ports that you can plug in, USB-C and the main USB portal. There's a flashlight, etc. And again, solar powered as well. And that is again something that can be useful for these situations. And I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but I'm just trying to help. I'm going to give the address, etc., of the consulate services in Puerto Vallarta, and I'm hoping people that have already reached out and registered their names on the Global Affairs portal, so that people know who is there. A lot of people that do travel, they don't know that you can and should be doing that. Registering as a travel, so that people, again, within the consular services know exactly how many Canadians are on the ground that they need to assist. And anyway, so Edmontonians stranded in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, amid cartel takeover. Can you tell them? And if George and I would have went, we bought VIP tickets, and there was the that after party on Friday night, and it would have been a great networking experience and stuff like that. But even before coming, like I was just like I didn't want to miss it, but I did. I'm like, I just had a bad feeling about the weekend, and I'm not just saying that like post events or anything like that, but um, even though I paid for the VIP tickets, and the Friday night event would have been incredible for networking, like I said, and it could have had the possibility of giving my business card out to other people and being invited on other podcasts. We decided not to, and booked even before we went to Puerto Vallarta, booked our flights for that Friday late afternoon, and yeah, anyways, or we would have possibly been stuck as well. Okay, so this was me responding to he was one of the speakers at the event, and he's a great speaker, and he was sharing his information. I'm going to get to him, but so if you haven't already done so, register your name with the embassy there and maintain contact. They will assist. And then if you are Canadian, contact 52 322 293 0098, or the consular agency at Plaza Peninsula, local sub F Boulevard, Francisco Medina, Haciendo 2485, Zona Hotelera NTE, 48300, Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, Mexico, and that's where we were, Jalisco. Okay, so I gave, this is the embassy in Mexico City, Embassy of Canada. So like that's again like it's not in Puerto Vallarta, but again there's multiple locations in Mexico that have been targeted since. Yeah, and again, this is not to politicize this, but elected officials are politicizing this. And so a literal NDP member, Heather McPherson, said many Canadians, especially members of the 2S LGBTQIA plus community, are in Puerto Vallarta, where violence has quickly escalated. A shelter-in-place order is in effect. Please stay vigilant and consult the Government of Canada's travel advisories for Mexico. What the hell was she thinking? Again, this is what I mean when this is with the headlines that like with the NDP, this is how you're losing voters. So this is from Bradshaw. I really like this comment, so I shared it. Is NDP Heather McPherson saying Canadian 2SLGBTQIA plus lives are more important than straight Canadian lives? What a divisive way to make a post in a crisis in Mexico. Liberals and NDP, respectfully speaking, are completely out to lunch when it comes to actual reporting now, and it's disgusting. I'm not even talking about the politicians. I'm talking about the state-funded media as well, and yeah, people are over it. Okay, more updates. See, I had good information that I wanted to share on other things, but I think that this should be the priority because I just left Anarchapulco, just left Puerto Vallarta. This is the Embassy of Canada in Mexico. This one is Schiller 529 Mexico City, Mexico 11560, and got a link there for it. I didn't share too much. Ça c'est en français. On my Instagram because there were a lot of videos that were shared that were from older events and or had not, or that were not part of what's going on in Puerto Vallarta right now. And so I just wanted to make sure that I'm not giving fake news because some people, and again, no one's going to be perfect, but some of the footage that's been shared regarding Puerto Vallarta and Mexico, it's old news or it's even from movies and not at all to do with what's going on the ground right now. So Mexico travel advice: exercise a high degree of caution with regional advisories. Again, there's still no planes going in and out from what I have been tracking. And safety and security updated information on violent incidents in various parts of Mexico. So you've got the risk map here, travel advice. Okay, you've got the different consular agencies here for assistance throughout Mexico. Whether you're in Acapulco, Cabo San Lucas, Cancun, Guadalajara, Mazatlan, anyway. Avoid non-essential travel to the following states due to high levels of violence and organized crime: Chiapas, including the city and ruins of Palenque, and Highway 186, anyway. Chihuahua, excluding Chihuahua City. Colima, excluding the city of Manzanillo, only if accessed by air. Let's see what here. Jalisco, within 50 kilometers of the border with Michoacan State, Lagunas de Zempoala National Park in Morelos. There's so many different travel advisories here. Okay, so violent incidents in various parts of Mexico. Criminal groups, cartels have set up roadblocks with burning vehicles in several cities in various parts of Mexico. There have been shootouts with security forces and explosions, including on roads and highways connecting affected areas to Mexico City. Talking about the FIFA World Cup in the summer. Anyway, Sinaloa, violent clashes occur regularly between rival armed groups. Well, now that the head of the cartel has been taken out, there are going to be cartels that are going to be fighting for that leadership. And there's multiple different cartels within the area, and so they're going to be vying for like who's going to be taking over his place, Menchez or whatever his name was. Beef stew, I guess. And so when he would be putting bodies in the friggin' pools of friggin' acid and stuff like that to completely disintegrate them, he would put in things like garlic and onion into the mix so that people wouldn't smell the decaying bodies of the people that they murdered. Okay, so not a good guy. And and good riddance. That's all I have to say about that. And well done to the Mexican government, and if there was involvement with the U.S. Special Forces, etc., well done. And I do hope that they provide assistance to the people within Mexico right now that are dealing with, again, the retaliation of these very organized cartels who have been, again, committing crimes against their own people now for a very long time. And so let me see here. Things I sent on messages. Let me see here. Okay, no, I'll just share what I was going to share the video clips. Let's see here.
So everybody is being told to leave the area right now here on the beach. The tiki bar is being cleared out. All of these things are being cleared out. It's being roped off right now. They're asking that everybody vacate the area and leave immediately. You can see the smoke. I don't know if you can, the smoke in the sky. But we were just walking on the beach and we saw smoke everywhere. And we're being informed that there's major cartel violence happening right now all over Puerto Vallarta. Apparently, they've captured a top-ranking cartel member, and when that happens, all-out war happens. A number of cars have been set on fire, motorcycles set on fire. In fact, there were some attendees of Anarchapulco who were in a taxi cab. Taxi drivers are apparently targeted by the cartel. They were they had their car shot at. The taxi driver was murdered, and the car was set on fire. All of their luggage has been burnt, including their clothes and passports. In fact, so it's a pretty scary, dire situation right now. We're being told do not go out at all. Do not walk in the streets. Do not get in a taxi or an Uber. Do not go to the airport. In fact, the entire airport may be shut down right now because of this cartel violence. I mean, we heard Trump mentioning a while back that he's going to go after the cartel in Mexico. Is this the beginning of that? Are we witnessing it live? I don't know, but everybody here has just been instructed to leave the area immediately. The entire beach here is being shut down. It's clearing out, and really intense situation going on here in Puerto Vallarta. So I'm gonna continue to document this as we do. We're gonna stay safe in our hotel. I don't know if you can see the smoke in the air, but it's all over the place. It's thinned out now in the last hour, but apparently, from what I understand, there's a whole bunch of cartel violence happening all over the city right now. We don't fly out until tomorrow, but hopefully it's not going to be an issue for us, because as it is right now, the airports might even be shut down. I hear the military is getting involved. Some of these cartel have in the past shot down military helicopters because they literally own rocket launchers.
Well, there's actually a bounty on military's heads now from the cartels. I'm trying to find the video of a law enforcement officer being intimidated by Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, killed in a Mexican military operation on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. People are saying that there was a bounty on him for 50 million US dollars, I believe it is. And again, there was possibility of American Special Forces, possibly Delta, and others that were involved in that operation. And I will say, again, I'm going to say good job. Unfortunately, again, there is fallout to that because, again, they're working against criminal cartel organizations. And again, not good people at all. Responsible, I'm all over the place. Responsible for rapes, for murders, for drug overdoses, all of this stuff. Like, these are not good people. And so I will reiterate good riddance to that guy. His death triggered widespread retaliatory violence across Mexico, particularly in Puerto Vallarta, where armed roadblocks, burning vehicles, and chaos erupted, as Dan shows as well. Puerto Vallarta is currently under a shelter-in-place order for residents and tourists, including Canadians and Americans, due to ongoing violence. Multiple airlines, including Air Canada, WestJet, Porter, Flair, and Air Transat, have canceled or diverted flights to the area. Global Affairs Canada has advised Canadians in Jalisco state to keep a low profile, monitor media reports, and follow local authorities' orders. The Mexican government has declared a code red in Jalisco, or Jalisco, however you want to pronounce it, with schools and public transport shut down, obviously. The U.S. State Department has also issued a shelter-in-place advisory for travelers in several Mexican states, including anyway. So, what else can I say about that? I'll let him talk.
So this is serious stuff. This is serious stuff. Again, everybody is being forced.
So that was one of the first videos that people started circulating. And so this one is a little bit newer. Let's see what he has to say here.
This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth, coming at you here live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Just had the military driving past me, and as I understand it, I should not be around anywhere where the police or the military are, because they are the target right now. As you can see, this whole place is like deserted right now because there's burning cars back there, burning cars right here still smoldering, and the situation is incredibly intense. As I'm sure you've already heard, there was a top drug lord cartel member, El Mencho, who has been killed. I believe there was a $15 million bounty on this man's head, and he is now dead, and that has caused this whole situation to pop off. The place looks like an absolute war zone right now, folks. Cartel has been setting up blockades in the streets, stopping cars. A whole bus was set on fire. You've got cartel members who literally look like the military. These guys are serious. These guys mean business.
Can't serve your country in the actual military. Fucking losers. Didn't do any of the training, any of that stuff. Not of service. This stuff enrages me. I'm so sorry, but just like, get a life. So here's one of the conversations that El Mencho had with law enforcement. Again, a lot of intimidation, but still, that's why, like, even during COVID, like, I had friends that had fled to Mexico and multiple other locations all over the world, and saying, like, why don't you leave Canada? It's not safe, etc. And I'm like, at that point, I'm a single female, and I have traveled the world in multiple capacities, and Canada is still one of the safest places to be in the world, especially if shit goes down. Because I will say that as corrupt as our government is, and yes, they're corrupt, I've been calling it out for years as a whistleblower, it's nowhere near the level that it is in a lot of places in not just Mexico, but South America, the like Middle East, you name it. And even in places like Costa Rica, etc. Like I've said, there's been travel advisories now for literally years that there are people within government that will stop tourists, and they will claim that they've committed some like bullshit, like they went against like certain like rules or regulations even of the road, and if they don't pay up, then they'll go to jail, or they'll have to go into the this system or whatever. And so people will give money, a bribe, and that's extortion, by the way. So extortion happens all over the friggin' world. And if you think that Canada is like not a good place, I'm sorry. Like I tend to differ on that. I'm sorry, like I'm so discombobulated right now when I'm trying to speak about this stuff. I wasn't going to do a video. I wanted to clear my head first, but anyways, it's just like in my head. So El Mencho, leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, take a listen at his power over law enforcement. So this audio recording from 2016, so it got way more powerful after that, illustrates the absolute authority CJNG cartel leader El Mencho wielded over law enforcement, as he instructed them to relax while the officer complied with urgency and palpable fear. This individual, who was eliminated today, was responsible for this incident. Disclaimer: this content features real people, real voices, and real stories, real opinions. It is important to note that the intent is not to promote violence or cause harm to any individual. The purpose of this material is purely educational, aimed at raising awareness and encouraging a deeper understanding of the current crisis. Our goal is to inform and inspire positive change, not to incite any form of harm or aggression. This post is meant for expressing freedom of speech, news, facts, theories, philosophies, ideologies, perspectives, criticism, history, oh my god, anyways, thoughts, opinions, and satire. Just covered all the bases here. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, this content is shared for the purpose of critique, education, and discussion under fair use. So, anyways, this is from Roman Family Strong.
Hey, ¿quién habla? Mira bien, hijo de tu puta madre. Soy Mencho, güey. Relaja tu puta gente a la verga. Soy Mencho, güey. Relaja tus putas partidas. Si no, te voy a partir tu madre. Tienes toda tu bola de perros. Te tengo identificado 30 güeyes. Hasta tus putos perros te voy a matar si no te relajas, güey. ¿Cómo ves?
Ya está, señor, ahorita los bajo.
Oh, no cuelgues, hijo de la verga. Te tengo ubicado en Chacala, güey.
No, no le estoy colgando, le estoy diciendo ahorita los bajo.
Póngase bien las pilas, güey. ¿Qué le cuesta ser amigo, cabrón? Uno no se mete con ustedes para que se pasen de verga.
Okay, so we agreed not to fuck with you guys, and in return, you want to fuck with us. He's talking to law enforcement.
No,
here.
señor, ahorita yo...
And then he says, no, sir, I'll tell them to back off. Look, tell your sons of bitches to fall back, because all of you happily accept my money, you pigs.
revíremeles a todos los hijos de su puta madre porque todos agarran dinero y son buenos de puercos.
Sí, es lo que me están diciendo. Que...
They're telling me right now, so he's saying, get your shit together or you'll be the first one that I'll make an example of. This was 2016. So, anyway.
¿A tiros o tú eres el primero que vas a marchar por ellos, León?
No, señor.
¿Vale?
No,
No, sir, we won't have any more problems.
señor, no se trata de eso.
Váyase a la vez.
Watch yourself because I'll spill blood at a moment's notice. You already know what's up. What a disgusting human being. And again, talking to law enforcement like that, clearly this guy's been paid off.
Porque aquí los vergazos están al 220, ya se la sabe. Y miedo no hay.
No, señor, no se trata de eso. Ahorita
No,
es
señor,
lo
Entonces, si quieres,
So if you guys want us to be friendly, then you be friendly. If not, go fuck yourselves then. This is what I mean. This is a cartel leader, a disgusting clown of a human being. I get so frustrated. And again, intimidating law enforcement and people, again, in the highest levels of freaking government in Mexico that, unfortunately, it is corrupted and it needs to be fixed for the people of Mexico, for anything. At the very least, for the people of Mexico, I mean.
la amistad, aquí va a tener un amigazo, cabrón. Si no, a chingar a su madre a la verga.
No, yo sé, señor.
Ya estoy hasta la verga de que no entiendo.
And people are bragging, saying like, oh, the cartels are going after ICE and stuff like that. These clowns. Like, do you not listen to yourselves? Like, people that are aligning with cartel members, like, you've literally lost the plot in life. You have no idea what these people do, what they're involved in, not just with the drug trafficking, the fentanyl and the cocaine from this cartel alone, but the human trafficking, the rape, the murder. Come on.
Loco.
Señor, usted me conoce, usted sabe que yo soy capitán.
Yeah, sir, you know me, you know I'm on your side. That's not a friggin' cop. And again, it's not just about the money. This guy clearly would be afraid for his life or his family's life because they also target their like family members, right? So even if he didn't want to comply with this fucking clown, then again, it would either be him dead or his family. So they use a lot of different pressure tactics on people.
Pues por eso me extraña, cabrón. Yo te entiendo, güey, pero pues no mames, yo sé que tienes gente.
Well, that's why I'm so surprised, you fucker. I understand you got people and family to take care of, but get your fucking shit together.
Y la familia de chingada. Verga, póngase las putas pilas.
Yeah, that guy should have ate a bullet years ago.
Yo lo sé, señor. Nada más
No quiero que me apagues este puto teléfono. Después te voy a marcar, güey. A ver si no se relajaron a la verga, ¿eh?
No.
Yeah, I don't want you to turn off your fucking phone. I'll call you again real soon to find out if you guys chilled the fuck out. Got it? No, right now I'm going to call.
Ahorita le voy a marcar.
A todos en general, güey.
Then he's saying that goes for all of you, everybody in general, bro. Tell everyone to chill the fuck out, please.
Relájenmelos a la verga, por favor.
Ahorita le voy
Yeah, for sure. And I'll call you back on this number. That's from the law enforcement.
a marcar de otro número.
No, law enforcement. Anyway.
A este número que me está marcando.
No, este ya no le vuelvas a marcar.
Okay, so no, don't call this number back. I'll call back when I
Yo le
can.
marco cuando yo pueda.
Ándale, pues.
Pero no me lo apague porque
But don't turn off your phone because I'll interpret that as disrespect. So this guy has to use another form of communication in order to communicate and tell people to stand down, again, the government, because of a psychopath.
se lo voy a entender como negatividad.
No, señor.
But don't turn your phone off because it'll, disrespect. No, sir. Right now, I'll let you know with a different device.
Ahorita le mando un mensaje.
I'll let them know, with a different device.
Órale, pues, Melón, ¿eh?
All right, well, that's what I hope, that you guys leave us the fuck alone.
Les quiero eso, ¿eh? Que se relajen a la verga.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir, you know me. All I have is respect for you. And again, this guy's just trying to save his own goddamn life.
Usted me conoce,
Again, he's a
usted
cop.
sabe que hay respeto. Nada más
Ya
aquí.
está, igualmente.
Same for all of you guys, and I apologize for the foul language.
De aquí para allá también.
Yo lo
Ahí
sé.
disculpen por las malas
Nada más
palabras.
que aquí los muchachos son los que están
I got the crew here. I'll send them your regards.
allá y ahorita yo se los agrupo.
Ahora, pues, ahí les...
All right, then tell them to fall back, and that's an order from me. Who the fuck do you think you are? This stuff frustrates me. This is why, like in Canada too, like respectfully speaking, the heads of RCMP and law enforcement, they need to have a backbone and start pushing back against cabinet members. With all these rules and policies that do nothing good for the Canadian citizens, they need to push back so that we don't get into a situation where we're as corrupted as, like, again, Mexico and other countries.
encargo.
Ándale, sí.
Ahí, relájenmelos a todos, dígale que va de parte mía.
Claro que sí, señor.
Yes, boss. Calling him boss. Calling a drug dealer, rapist, murderer a boss. I don't think so.
Ándale.
Yeah, we're done then.
Delta 1.
Hey, ¿quién habla?
Yeah, Delta 1. Yeah, who's speaking? Anyway.
Mira bien,
I'm just starting it over. Look here, you son of a bitch. It's Mencho, dumbass.
hijo de tu puta madre.
Anyway, you're not so important anymore, are you? Oh, this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go back on. Let's see here. No.
Costco was set on fire.
I don't know if there was or not. This could be video from somewhere else, but anyway.
A hospital was under attack, people running for their lives. There was the Guadalajara airport that was under attack. People literally running all over the place, screaming and crying. The Peurto Vallarta airport as well has had a big scare. A lot of people were evacuated on the tarmac, had to run out on the runway to get away from the intense situation. And it seems like it's not about to slow down anytime soon. As I understand it, the cartel have announced that they are going to be entering private homes and potentially hotel resorts at 5 p.m. Our time if their demands are not met. So this thing could be just the beginning of what we're seeing here. I mean, the situation is so intense. I've been doing reports from my resort where there was just smoke surrounding all over the place, cars being lit on fire everywhere. And I've been posting those to my Twitter, Dan Dix PFT. A lot of people have been re-uploading the footage and just saying, look at this footage a tourist got. I'm not a tourist, guys. I'm a journalist. I'm here working, actually. I've been speaking at a conference for the last 5 days in attendance at this conference, and I'm here now documenting on this situation live. And it was a little scary being over there right as I'm starting the video. I had military rolling up on me, and as I understand it, that could often be cartel members. And if it's not, these guys are the guys who are being targeted by the cartel members. So very, very intense situation popping off right here. As I said,
he is, a journalist, an independent journalist. He's been in crazy areas and stuff like that. So, like it's makes sense that he's out there. Again, he's risking his life though. I would be, again, hunkering down in a safe location. I would be likely trying to communicate with emergency contacts in Canada, letting them know at least how to reach me or my last known location. Try to stay in the same location unless it becomes dangerous. So that at least if there's no comms, you don't have any means to communicate to anyone, at least the last known contact can communicate with Ottawa or the consular services within Mexico on your behalf. Very important that they do that. And the area that my partner and I were in, whenever we were doing pickups or drop-offs, it was never in the place that we were staying at. We would actually travel just a little bit further up or out from where we were staying. And again, there were guards, 24/7 guards in the area that we were staying at. And again, not even knowing that this was going to happen, befriending the guards, gave them a few cigars, etc. And again, I would be absolutely possibly communicating with the guards, seeing if I can understand what's up. Do they have more information that I don't have? And then looking at like security protocols within the areas that people are staying in. I would absolutely do that. And if guards or other people or other staff, they leave and they're not providing any, again, security or protection for these compounds or these areas, then I would recommend that there at least be people there willing to, again, provide that service. And again, that's asking a lot for some people, but just to try to make sure that no one, can at least freely and willfully just enter accommodations where, again, there's innocent civilians there, including women and children and the more vulnerable. And anyway, it's a lot to ask for people. But again, if people aren't stepping up and protecting compounds or areas for whatever reason, then anyway, I'm just throwing that out there.
Go to my Twitter if you want to keep up to date with my reports on this. Dan Dix PFT. Again, I don't really care if people re-up the footage and get it out without credit to me. The most important thing is we get the word out about what's happening here and that the situation is pretty dire. I mean, people are dying. It's rather intense. It's rather scary. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fly home tomorrow. I'm supposed to get on a plane, but as I understand it, the airports are currently shut down. So that may still be the situation tomorrow. So stay tuned for my coverage. I might be stuck here for a little while.
Yeah.
If you guys want to support me, go to pressfortruth.ca. Make sure you follow me on all the major platforms that I'm posting on. And if you want to financially support
Yes,
my
do that.
efforts to cover this, you can go to pressfortruth.ca/donate. But again, the most important thing right now is just to share this information. You're not going to get a lot of this probably from the mainstream media, and I'm here on the ground. So I will do my best to bring you the truth of what's happening here. So just wanted to give
Yeah, his content literally is making international headlines, and which is incredible. And I do hope that people donate to him. Like, I'm not paid to say that at all. I've donated to his campaigns, especially when he went to Davos, etc. And again, not rich by any means. In fact, putting repairs and stuff like that on the house has put me in debt. But I've still given because, again, it's what he shares is incredibly important. And so if you can afford it, I would recommend that people donate to him. All right, is there anything else here? Again, a lot of the stuff that people are coming up with anyways for news updates are coming from Press for Truth. So this is the guy I was talking about. He was one of the speakers at the Anarchapulco. He's called the Liberty Advisor. And so this is his comment. Parts of my crazy journey escaping the convention center via ambulance to make it to a safer place. I'm all good right now, here by myself. And luckily, my girlfriend went home 2 days ago, feeling much better about this location, and we'll keep you posted. Excuse me, and he tagged the Anarchapulco official. Because again, there was a lot of people there from that conference that are stuck, unfortunately.
Just got into an ambulance right now to sneak over to the marina, and then I've got to go from the marina.
And literally, we were at the marina as well, like super close off the marina. And it does look like the area that he was staying at. It looks very similar to where we were staying. But anyways,
To the Airbnb. So this is quite the adventure. There we go. So just got into an ambulance.
multiple people obviously that he doesn't know or that were from the conference that are in the ambulance with him. And
We took our driver good, huh?
Happy to
Right now
chip in
in the-
some petrol money.
talk about money.
We took our driver good, huh?
Happy to
Right now
chip
in
in
the-
some petrol money.
Okay, that's just a photo.
It's a master builder.
Yeah, what's up? In the taxi, not taxi, in the ambulance right now, trying to escape. Not even sure what the deal is. I think we're going to marina. Then I've got to then find the plan what to do after the marina. Trying to escape back to my Airbnb, all my stuff. Back in the ambulance right now in Peurto Vallarta.
You'll see the guy's already opening up his wallet for money, and you can see so much cash that like they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm taking that all, please." Oh, anyway, sorry.
Trying to escape back to my Airbnb, all my stuff. Back in the ambulance right now in Peurto Vallarta.
And again, this is not to hate on cryptocurrency. Like, I don't want this to be about that. But in these types of situations, not going to help. And unless everyone in the entire planet adopted it, including ambulance drivers, law enforcement, all of these people, then you're screwed. And I mean that respectfully.
All right, now I'm the only person left here in this ambulance. Just paid the driver to try, but we're running out of gas. Just paid the driver to try to get me a little bit closer. I'm not super far away. I'm like pretty close. only a 3-minute drive away, so if I had to walk, not a big deal. Yeah. Crazy. Back of an ambulance.
That was smart though to do.
All right, now I'm the only person. Here's the ambulance.
Yeah, that looks like the ambulance that was it was there as an emergency vehicle at the conference center on the side. It was there 24 like whenever the conference was, and yeah, that's smart.
Leaving. Quite the day. What?
That's the guard. That's no little lock. It's the only thing that's holding back anyone from entering. Well, I mean, it's a locked gate. The guards are there to unlock for people to enter.
Woo! What a fucking day. Just arrived via ambulance back to this place, which I think is actually a great place to be at right now. Sketchy as shit getting here. What a day.
Yep. So he's actually staying at the exact same Airbnb that we stayed at. I can tell you even by that wall, I knew it. And so that's so interesting. We were there for the entire week and didn't see him. But again, we were leaving early, coming back late. And so it's understood that again, it's, you don't meet everyone there. But yeah, that's so weird that he was literally staying at the exact same place that we were. And I hope he's safe. And yeah, that's enough for my ramble. So on that note, I will leave it at that. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful and safe rest of your day.